Doctor Crazie Tech Series, Biometric Technology, by Blake Glover, Elizabeth Martin, and Jordan Foley. What is biometric technology? Biometric technology is defined as the measurement and analysis of unique physical or behavioral characteristics, especially as a means of verifying personal identity.
There are 5 characteristics that are necessary to support a biometric system. 1. A sensor to gather data and convert it to digital form. 2. Signal processing algorithms to perform quality control activities and design a biometric template. 3. Data storage for comparison. 4. A matching algorithm. 5. A process to make a system-level decision. There are 2 types of biometric technologies: physiological biometrics and behavioral biometrics. Physiological biometrics use one's physical attributes to identify that particular individual. They include facial recognition, fingerprint recognition, iris recognition, retinal recognition, vascular pattern recognition, palm print recognition, and hand geometry. The first type of physiological biometric is facial recognition software. This technology recognizes spatial geography of the face to identify an individual. It focuses on distinguishing characteristics of the face, such as the nose and lips and the distance between one's eyes. The technology was originally developed by scientists Woody Bledsoe, Helen Chan Wolf, and Charles Bison in the early 1960s. It was developed with funding from an unnamed government intelligence agency. One of the oldest biometric technologies is the fingerprint. It was originally recorded with ink and paper, but has been digitized since the 1960s. Fingerprint biometrics are most commonly used in law enforcement, fraud prevention, and computer access. The technology works by analyzing the patterns in the raised ridges of the fingers to identify an individual.
Another type of physiological biometrics is the retinal scan. The retinal scan works by shining a light into the back of one's eye in order to measure blood vessel patterns. This technology, however, is not commonly used because it is viewed as intrusive to the individual. Because of this, retinal scans are not commercially available. Vascular pattern recognition technology, also called vein pattern authentication, is one of the newest physiological biometric technologies. First becoming available in the year 2000, it uses a near-infrared light in order to measure blood vessel patterns of the individual's hand or finger. This is one of the most secure types of biometric technology, as some applications require blood to be flowing for the individual to be authenticated. Behavioral biometrics are used to identify a particular person by measuring a behavior trait that is acquired over a specific time. Behavioral biometrics include voice pattern recognition, signature/handwriting recognition, movement recognition, and keystroke recognition. The first type of behavioral biometrics is known as voice or speaker recognition technology. This technology uses the vocal patterns of the individual's voice using a passphrase. This technology, because it uses a telephone or a microphone, is relatively cheap and convenient to use. However, despite this, background noise of the environment is a factor and can sometimes impede the authentication process.
Another type of biometric technology is known as dynamic signature or handwriting technology. This technology measures individual dynamics such as speed of the writing stroke, pressure applied to the surface, and directional pattern carried out by the user. It also measures the time in which the pen is in contact with the surface, as well as the time the pen is out of contact with the surface. This technology can be easily added to many existing security systems because of the wide use of signature digitizers.
Keystroke dynamics is a behavioral biometric technology that measures the dynamics of how an individual types a certain word or passphrase. This technology analyzes dynamics such as the speed it takes to type the phrase, pressure on each individual key, time spent pressing on each individual key, as well as the time it takes for the individual to move to the next key. The hope for this technology is to eventually incorporate it into computer authentication systems in conjunction with an individual's own passphrase. Biometric systems are widely used today in the business environment. The first to implement this technology was the PC industry, utilizing fingerprint recognition systems in order to provide user authentication. Following the PC industry's lead, many other businesses, especially those in the United Kingdom, are using biometric technologies in order to limit unauthorized access into their networks. British banks are now required to use an iris scan as well as fingerprint recognition technologies in order to verify an individual before opening up a new account. Another such application in the business environment is the pay-by-touch system. This system links an individual's fingerprint with their credit card information so that the individual does not have to swipe his card. This will help prevent false charges from lost or stolen credit cards.
Biometric technologies have become available for personal use in recent years. Individuals utilize their fingerprints in place of passwords and card swipes. Consumers in Asia using wireless fingerprint technologies are able to place secure orders to online vendors. Cell phones are equipped with a fingerprint scanner that allows the individual to send the fingerprint to the vendor to authenticate their purchases. The government as well uses biometric technologies in order to authenticate individuals. Like businesses, the United States government uses a host of different biometric technologies to prevent unauthorized access into secure government sites. In conjunction with this, the United States government uses biometrics in order to identify known enemies of America. Facial recognition systems as well as voice recognition systems are present in some of the nation's largest airports.
Law enforcement agencies as well as the military also use biometric technologies. The Federal Bureau of Investigation controls and maintains the largest fingerprint database in the country and uses this technology to gather evidence on suspects. The military incorporates facial recognition, retinal scanning, as well as fingerprint scanning in order to catalog detainees from across the world as well as to identify detainees or prisoners attempting to operate under an alias. In conjunction with these efforts, the United States military incorporated facial recognition as well as voice recognition technology into their Predator drones. Predator drones circling above the battlefield are able to identify and locate wanted terrorists and enemies based on these biometrics. Biometric technology will only become more incorporated into our world as time passes on. Banks across the globe are planning to incorporate biometric technologies into ATM transactions. Instead of being required to only put in a card and a PIN, users will also be required to provide fingerprint or palm print identification in order to complete a transaction. Another application is the pay-by-touch system being fully incorporated for all transactions. As of right now, grocery stores in the United Kingdom are the only businesses currently using the system. However, as the system gains credibility and popularity, the technology will be adopted in other countries and industries. Some countries have also proposed an international ID card that would feature multiple biometric technologies and include facial recognition technology combined with fingerprint scans. These cards would be used with passports to verify travelers' identities and assure security along borders. Problems arise with this technology because of language barriers and its threat to personal privacy.